Vlogmas day 3, ladies and gents. Now, wouldn't typically drive to the office. Typically I'd catch the train, but I did have a nice sleep and I overslept a little bit, and I thought, well, okay, I could work from home from that time onwards, or take the girl out, drive into the office. And that's what I'm doing. And it's only an hour, and that way, like, I can leave work early and I won't be home late. Because usually if I was in the office, I'm not getting home till 7 if I catch the train, because I have to wait for the train times, obviously. Whereas if I get in the car, drive straight home, I can be home by 6, save myself an hour basically, or 6 would be the latest. So anyway, yeah, gorgeous morning. It's 4 degrees Celsius, but it's worth it. There's a nice like fog, as you saw. It is proper winter, autumnal, Christmassy vibes. So yeah, and a long commute is something I'm not unfamiliar with. You know, driving in the US, for example, upwards of an hour to get to work, sometimes even longer, 2 hours if I was going into DC, even longer if I was doing a site visit. So with that in mind, get the fog lights on here, because it is very foggy. And I'll see you in a bit.
And yeah, just not much awareness.
That is for sure one thing that I miss about living in the US, ladies and gents, is the fact that every Wednesday here in Wales, or at least where I live currently, it's recycling day, and then every third week it's black bag day, basically, where you get to take out your normal rubbish, right? And in the US, one of the things I miss is that every Sunday would be my day where I'd go to the recycling center, and I would be able to take my rubbish, take my recycling myself. And yeah, I miss that, and having to sort of rely on the council to do it, even though you pay like council tax, sometimes it's not the best. Anyway, day 3 of the advent calendar. Figured we'd open it on the Vlogmas. There hasn't been much to really discuss today. I had a gym session this evening. It was great. Ooh, look at that. Mars, happy days. I will have that gladly. Yeah, not much to discuss. Probably edit that out. Anyway, I'm keeping up to date with this Vlogmas stuff. But yeah, decent day, to be fair. Oh, and one of the things I want to touch upon real quick is I was having a conversation. It wasn't really a conversation, more a thought in my head, which I know what you're thinking is, are you okay? Does anyone else do that? Have like open dialogue conversations with themselves in their head to be able to process things? So I was thinking about this earlier, and I know you're thinking, Ryan, why are you still wearing your pea coat? And well, the simple answer is because it's lovely. It's quite cold outside. It's currently 4 degrees Celsius, so the same temperature as it was earlier. And one of the things that I'm so happy about that I learned about the US as well, because I was touching upon the recycling aspect of the US, and I miss doing that and being able to take it myself, right, in my truck. But one of the things I learned whilst I was in the US, because really, if you think about it, and I don't think I mentioned this on any vlog yet, is that this is the first Christmas that I'm going to be in the UK for the past 13 years. So like all my adult experiences at Christmas from 22-ish, 21, 22, have all been in the US. So I don't really have any UK adult Christmas experiences. So that's going to be interesting. But one of the other sort of things that I sort of picked up in the US is that like buy once, cry once, right? And I know, and this is what I'm trying to get on to the point here, is that you might be asking, why are you wearing this peacoat? Well, yeah, it's cold outside, but this peacoat is wool. It's like a military one, and it wasn't expensive, but it wasn't cheap either. And it has literally served its purpose. I've worn this when it's been like -7, 8 outside in the US with like a foot or two of snow, and I've been warm, which is incredible. So I was just like, yeah, like that's one of the things I'm glad that I learned in the US was like, yeah, it's gonna maybe be a little bit more expensive, and it's not buy once, cry once in the sense that you're keeping up with the Joneses. It's that when you do buy something, usually if you buy something that is cheap, I don't want to say cheap, but like you don't put your thought into it, or you don't, and it's not to say you can't buy stuff, right? But just knowing that like if you buy like a t-shirt from Primark, for example, just saying, I have a few, so don't stress, versus like, depending on what it is, say like you bought a gym top from Primark versus a gym top from like, let's just say Under Armour or Nike or Adidas or Gymshark. There's a quality difference, and it is an obvious price difference because technically you are paying for the name brand, but you're also paying for that quality improvement as well. And 9 times out of 10, the more expensive options are going to last a little bit longer, and they're going to be a bit more durable. Well, it's the same with this peacoat. Yes, I could have bought a cheaper peacoat, but it wouldn't potentially have been as thick or as warm or like actual wool. It could have been like a wool blend, whereas this is like full on wool, and it's absolutely lovely. So that is all. That's all I really have to discuss today. I had a good gym session. In fact, it was a full body gym session. So during my week at the moment, without being on plan, without being on like a wintering program or just a program in general, I'm currently doing 3 full body workouts. So Monday is strength focused. So for example, on Monday I did some heavy incline bench press, some heavy-ish squats, and I threw in a couple of heavy single front squats as well. Rep ranges between 3 and 6 on the upper sets, and then on the back off sets, anywhere from 6 to 8, potentially, I think it was. And I'm not tracking anything at the moment. This is all in my head, just because I've been doing it for a while. And then after that, I did some heavy rows, some single arm rows with a 50 kilo dumbbell, and then some pull-ups and a little bit of arms and a little bit of deadlifting. Nothing too strenuous. Today was a hypertrophy based full body session. So started off with a hack squat, did 2 sets of 12, did a back off set, 1 set of 10, just getting the movement. What else did I do then this evening? Some overhead press, some incline bench press, and what did I do for posterior? Some lat pull down, some hamstring curl, and then arms to finish. So full body sort of hypertrophy. My Friday session is a full body sort of functional training session, which I kind of use as like a GPP. So if you're familiar with Conjugate, Westside Barbell, they have like a GPP day, which is like your general physical prep. For me, that could be farmers carries, Olympic lifting, or just cardio in any way, shape or form. And then on top of that, I ensure I do at least 2 or 3 of what my Garmin says. So yesterday was 10-minute mile pace for 27 minutes. If I was to do it today, for example, yeah, it'd be the exact same base run, 10-minute mile pace at 27 minutes. And that just alternates depending on how I've recovered or whatnot, and how I'm feeling. So yeah, that's Vlogmas day 3 really. Just getting the content out there. I've had some pretty good success lately on other social media platforms. I had a video do 1.3 million views currently, and it's still growing. I had another video hit 100,000 views. So we're getting there, and I think I just went over 36,000 followers on Facebook, which is pretty cool. I'm nearing like 177-ish or 176,000 on TikTok. And we're still sitting at like 25, I think, on Instagram. But yeah, that is Vlogmas. Great day. Tomorrow will be slightly different because tomorrow I'm working from home in the morning. Then I have to go to Swindon, ladies and gents, for a meeting. So I'll be getting on the train. Exciting. I love getting on the train, especially when I don't have to pay for it. And then come home. That meme's in my head, you know, the one where it's like, we got spirit, yes we do, we got spirit, how about you? That one. And then yeah, go bowling in the evening with my mate. Prep for uni assignment, finish off a bit of work, and then I'm on annual leave Friday. So I'll pop and do a few bits on Friday. But yeah, that's my tomorrow, technically today, the 4th of December. It is unbelievably wild the difference a year can make on where your head is at. I was actually talking about this as well to myself. I was having a conversation with myself, just sitting downstairs trying to process things, because usually when I try and process things, I actually in 2026 I'm going to start journaling again. So basically I would have my girlfriend bought me this, but like I had a bullet journal, but there's also a company called Papier, and they make really good sort of like wellness journals and stuff, but it's just like a place to brain dump. And so for me, I was discussing, what was I talking about? Houses, potentially, and just sort of how humbling it is. This time last year, although I was going through a few emotionally stressful situations, it's a humbling experience where you've gone from having a home and a routine and a structure and a set thing. And I was speaking to one of the PMs today in work, project managers, and just about sort of the life and how in a few years things can change. And, you know, in a few years' time, if I stay on track and I stay the course, basically, that like my trajectory is up here, and it's sort of where I was in the US. So it's kind of like I've come back a few steps. It's humbling. For example, this is not my house, right? I've had to move back in with my old man. This is not my house. To go from not owning my own house per se, but having a house that I lived in. You know, so I don't want to say my dream vehicle, but close. My truck, my pickup truck was up there, which I miss a lot. Actually, I was saying this earlier, I was missing the ability. I had a bullet point system on my truck where basically I had a rail built into where just above the radio, and I had like a gimbal arm, sort of like a GoPro arm where I could move. And on the back of my phone camera, I had a mouse case which had the mouse vlogging content adapter case built in, so I could just clip it in and I could move it wherever I wanted to. I could rotate it and it wasn't an issue. And I think the attachment actually got to be here somewhere. Because I was... Oh yeah, right here. Look at that. So basically, I had a case, mouse. I had a case which I could attach to this. And then basically, this was on like a GoPro sort of thing. And I could just move the arm around. And then to simply unclip it, you just push these in. And obviously you can see these clips here. They separate. So it just allowed you to like easily clip on a phone, clip off a phone, and attach it to other things. And I have that exact thing on one of my bikes downstairs. So I'm probably gonna have to get a mouse case like that for this if I can get it set up on my car. But if not, I'm gonna have to go to like a quad lock or something, which I don't know if I want to, because then that's changing the whole platform and the whole system. And I kind of like the mouse aspect of it because their cases are structurally pretty sound, and they've also got commuter bags and things like that as well. Anyway, there's a little bit of a ramble, a little bit of a thing, but yeah, that's it's Vlogmas Day 3. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you tomorrow. Already filled you in on what's happening. It's gonna be good. Peace. Remember, buy once, cry once. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And also one other thing is that I've had a lot of people saying, or like I've heard conversations where it's like, okay, I believe you. And on the back of that, I immediately switched to Home Alone, where it's like, I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. And I'm going to give you the count of 3 to get you no good line keister off my property. 1, 2, 10. That's enough for me. Goodbye.